This is another update video. Currently I have all the components removed from the experimenter's board. This was used to change components or wiring, or when I modified the programming or things like that. This was used to do a quick change and test out the circuit. It seemed to work well as it was designed, so it is currently mostly all of it is now in the hypo itself. This is my version of the SNW, the Strange New Worlds from Star Trek hypo. It's supposed to represent that particular prop. I wanted to do a little bit more to my circuit design so that when I actually apply or install the vial into the hypo, I wanted it to do maybe a bit more to make a little more realism. So what will happen is when you pull this out, there will be a switch located here. Then when it's magnetically put into place, it holds there in place, and it will close a switch. This particular switch is more of a representation. It's mostly used to indicate that the vial is in place. There will be a momentary switch in here so that when you do pull it out, it does open. So basically it'll close a switch, and at that point it will light an LED here. So that could be an indicator that it's now scanning the dosage or the medication to be sure everything is good. Once it's done that, it will light the LEDs from the bottom up. It will scan up, giving again the impression that it's loading the pump or loading the hypo into the injection mode. It's ready for injection. So that was sort of something I wanted to add to the realism of the hypo, and I'll go ahead and show that now. Basically this switch will be here. There'll be another switch located in the nozzle itself. It will be a momentary normally open switch, so this will close the switch, indicating again it's up against the patient, and then you will push the trigger, which will cause the LEDs to count down. They will turn off from top to bottom. So I didn't want the hypo to function with one switch alone. They needed to both be activated to make the LEDs function, the electronics function. There is a 3D printed block like this to actually put the 4 LEDs and to keep the light isolated from each one. Makes it doesn't bleed into the holes next to it, so it locks it into this particular location. There is a diffuser over the front of it. As you can see here, there's a diffuser there. So let's go ahead and show how that works. The idea is you would have your medication, you would put that in place, close a switch, and I'll do that by representing it here, and this LED here will light up. There. So now it's in kind of a scan mode. It's checking dosage, the medication, being sure everything's alright, and then it will load the pump. So ready for injection. Once you pressed it up against the patient, you press the button here, and it will inject, just like that. Okay, it will be totally off for the entire time until I actually remove this. Okay, so that means this switch will open. We put the vial, the medication, back in place. It will close this switch. This LED will light. It's in the scan mode, and then after a few seconds it will then load the hypo, and then again the switch here will be closed when I press against the patient, and then the trigger, just like that. So I kind of wanted to make it a little more realistic in the real world as a prop. Give it something more than just lighting all the LEDs at one time and then scan down. I wanted it to actually give the impression it's loading it, and prior to loading, this LED indicates that it is in a scanning mode, possibly maybe contacting the computer, the ship's computer, via say Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or whatever. So again, you put the vial in place, which again this switch will represent. This LED will light. It's in the scan mode, and then in a few seconds it loads like that. Then you press the nozzle up against the patient. That closes this switch up here, and then you grab it, and then you just go just like that. Okay, so just wanted to update you where I'm at. Again, everything is located now pretty much in the handle, in the prop itself. This is how it will look. There's only LEDs on the one side. Okay, there's nothing on the right side, just on the left. So you remove the vial like that, it's out, put another one in, goes into the scan mode. It's kind of like resets the electronics, and there it is, ready to go. And it'll sit there until you're ready to use it. So just like that. Alright, that's it. Have a good day.